What's up, Ocean? You got Matt here, coach of your Montreal Milotics, bringing you our Week 9 battle for the BBR. Today we are facing off against the San Diego Snugglers and their coach, Grandmaster D-Ray, who's an amazing person. But before I get to that, yes, that is an Adrenaline Orb Gardevoir on your screen. So if you guys want to stick around for the team builder, make sure to do so. If you guys want to skip ahead to the battle, there is a timestamp on the screen right now. But D-Ray is a fantastic player. He really knows what he's doing. He moved over from VGC to Singles Draft League, and he has been crushing it. Honestly, his plays that he makes, he thinks them out really well. He builds really well as well. He's just got a good overall sense to how to play this game competitively, so he's definitely a threat. We are both currently 4-4. He is +4, I am +2. Winner of this game is going to have a huge advantage going forward because our two teams, plus Liv's New England Snowcloak. I think in this league she's the New Orleans Saint Snow. But in the three of us, we were 4-4. Liv has won her Week 9 game. She's 5-4. So I only think that 2 of the 3 of us are making playoffs. And if we lose this game, we are put on the back foot immediately. And our matchup is tough. It's really scary. He has a DRACOVISH, and DRACOVISH is terrifying. Look at my water resists. I have Urshifu and Roserade. That's it. That's not good, and it's a dragon type as well, which means my electric type and my grass type, being Roserade and Vikavolt, don't hit it for super effective damage. Very, very scary, but I'm thinking we can get this job done. Let's go ahead and jump into it. Now, I did mention here, we have the Gardevoir with the Adrenaline Orb. Now, why do we have the Adrenaline Orb? Well, looking at my opponent's team, he has 3 Intimidators. Yes, they all have different abilities. Poison Point on Qwilfish, Technician on Hitmontop, Flash Fire, or Justified on Arcanine, but I think Intimidate is coming because I have 1, 2, 3, 4 monsters with ridiculous attack. Urshifu, 130 base attack. Mamoswine, 130 base attack. I think Copperajah has 130 base attack as well. So it's just insane. And then Cinderace has 116, and it's walled pretty effectively by the Qwilfish and the Arcanine. So I definitely think that a intimidating team will be coming. And once Intimidate happens, boom, boom, we get access to our Adrenaline Orb, which means we get our speed increased by 1, basically giving us a Choice Scarf. And with Calm Mind, I can then make sure that I outspeed and bop so many different things. My opponent's entire team hates Gardevoir's Dual Stab, except for the Durant, which resists them both. But if I get 2 Calm Minds and there's a Spike Up, we Oko Durant, and I can definitely do that. Or if I get 50% off on it with something like my Roserade, then even better, we still get rid of it. That's all I need to do. If I can get the Intimidate to pop off on the Gardevoir, I will be able to make sure that my Gardevoir outspeeds everything, except for any Scarf Mons that would be like faster than me, like the Rotom or the Arcanine or the Qwilfish, for example, and just win. And that's basically it. This is my game plan with Gardevoir. Gardevoir is too good here. Protect is there so that in case of first impression on Durant, we can then Protect, stop that, and then he has to switch out or choose a sack, which is basically going to be his game plan, I think. So I'm hoping that this second put in a lot of work. It'd be really cool if it did. Looking at the rest of the team, the speed here is just for DRACOVISH, and in reality, this set just wins the game if we can get it off. So I'm going to go ahead and say Gardevoir is going to be the MVP of this week. But you never know because my opponent does have a very scary roster. One of the other mons that's very scary for him to deal with is going to be the Roserade. Roserade, though, is going to be our lead. We're running Sludge Bomb, Dazzling Gleam, Stun Spikes, and Stun Spore and Spikes. Wow, not Stun Spikes. Stun Spore and Spikes with the Focus Sash. Again, this is our lead. The reason I'm running Stun Spore is because if my opponent decides to go into something like the Durant as his lead, then I have Stun Spore to paralyze that thing. Everything else does not appreciate Sludge Bomb and Dazzling Gleam. The Sandaconda, if that's his lead, is not going to want to stay in on a Giga Drain. He's probably going to go hard into the Durant. I can get up my Spike on that, and then I can go for a Stun Spore, paralyzing it and making it a lot easier to beat down. Again, if he's a Home Claw set, that's going to be very scary. I do have access to Shadow Ball, which would break a sub. It would do about 50% to the Durant, so I don't think he can set up on me pretty freely. We'd also have a lot of mons that outspeed it naturally. He does have access to webs in the Orbeetle, but at the end of the day, we have mons that should be able to take 1, 2 hits, even if it's at +1 attack, unless it's running like, I don't know, Aerial Ace with a Life Orb and it's at +1. I think Urshifu should be able to take a hit pretty comfortably. This set has speed for the Rotom, plus anything creeping the Rotom, so that's why we're at, I think it's 155 is the speed that we reach. And I also made sure that I had enough bulk on this spread to take a hit from Adamant Scarf FISHIOUS REND from the DRACOVISH. Why do I want that when I have the Focus Sash? Well, let me know, 1, is he Adamant? And 2, is he Jolly? Depending on that, I'll be able to know. I want to make sure that we have that option just to be safe, just to gain the information and as well as just allow me to status things. again, we're likely going to be proccing our Focus Sash, but I'll be able to know right away, okay, if he brings us down to 1 HP and our Focus Sash does not pop, that means I know he is adamant, and that's a really big difference from him being jolly for damage calcs. Our next mon is going to be our Urshifu here. Urshifu is a really cool set this week with Drain Punch, Thunder Punch, Substitute, and Bulk Up. You know, I didn't think I'd be ever running a set without Surging Strikes, but I'm running it again without Surging Strikes. Drain Punch hits my opponent's team for really good damage except for the Orbeetle and the Quillfish. Those are his only 2 fighting resists. And then I have Thunder Punch, which hits them both for neutral or super effective damage. I could have run something like Surging Strikes, but if he's Rocky Helmet on the Quillfish, which I expect him to be, then we kind of are walled by it pretty well, so I didn't want to have that. We do have a bit of trouble with beating the Arcanine, especially if it's a faster Arcanine, but I don't feel too bad about it because if we go into Urshifu on the Arcanine being there, we can force him out with Surging Strikes and click Substitute. I don't imagine that thing to be Scarf, I imagine it to be Heavy Duty Boots, if anything, and if it is, we'll be able to just bring this thing in, click Substitute on the incoming Quillfish, bulk up, and at that point he won't be able to break our sub. This set has a ton of investment in its bulk. The speed there is for Rotom Mow. At +1 defense, max attack Quillfish's Poison Jab never breaks our sub, and we also make sure that Adamant, Scarf, Fish's Rend never 2-KOs us after our leftovers recovery. That is absolutely huge to make sure that we can have this thing around as a way to threaten out the DRACOVISH. And the good news is if we Drain Punch twice, it will actually take a 3rd Fish's Rend. So very, very important. And again, we do want to make sure that that thing is weakened as much as possible because it is a really big threat. It's pretty bulky and a lot of my team can't deal with it very effectively because I'm not running Freeze Dry on a Mamoswine. Our next mon is going to be our Vikavolt here. Vikavolt is another one of our win cons this week. We are running Throat Spray with Thunderbolt, Bug Buzz, Agility, and Sticky Web. There's a really cool Iron Defense set which Josh had suggested to me, so shout out to Josh. He put a lot of time in to help me out with this, and shout out to Liv as well for the mock. But the Iron Defense set was going to be the exact same spread, exact same moves basically, except for Iron Defense over Agility and Roost over Sticky Web. I was still going to run the Throat Spray, still keep the same defensive investments, but rework the offensive investments like the speed. But this set just does so much better because I won't have to worry about Toxic or something on the Quillfish. At the end of the day, it was tough to make this decision, but this set sets up on a lot. If I get up 2 Agilities, I will outspeed even a Scarf DRACOVISH. I just have to be very careful. If I find out that it is Scarf, then I need to make sure I got that 2nd Agility up or there's webs. At the end of the day, the big thing is I need to make sure I got 1 Agility at the very least to threaten everything out, and at +1 from our Throat Spray after going for a Bug Buzz, we nuke my opponent's entire team. What resists the combination? Nothing. We destroy everything. We take any non-adamant attack from a Technician Hitmontop, so if he goes for Technician Triple Axle and he's not adamant, or he's not like that highly invested, we will actually take that hit, be able to get off our Agility, and then fire off a Bug Buzz or a Thunderbolt depending on what the situation calls for. Our next mon is going to be our Porygon Z, which is Choice Scarf. This is our backup answer to the DRACOVISH because that thing is so terrifying if it is Scarf. If it is Scarfed and he has webs up, that's the only way he can outspeed this Porygon Z. He has to have both, or else we should be fine dealing with it. My opponent literally has 1 resist to normal, and it's the Durant, and Durant doesn't appreciate a Thunderbolt. Even then, with adaptability and Hyper Beam, Hyper Beam does more than Thunderbolt does, but I'm only clicking Hyper Beam if it's only the Durant left and it's going down next turn or whatever. I just gotta be careful with what I'm doing, what I'm clicking Hyper Beam against. I probably won't be clicking it. 99% of the time I am clicking Tri Attack because 80 base power, it has a chance to burn, paralyze, or freeze, and I can switch out after. Uproar, I have to stay in for 3 turns, so there's really no reason for me to just click Uproar and then just die if I don't want this thing to die. So it depends on what I need or how useful Porygon Z is, but that extra 10 base points of damage might be very, very important. Our speed on the set is the same as the speed for the Rose Raid. It outspeeds Rotom Mow plus anything creeping me, creeping Rotom Mow, and ideally this is going to be one of our best answers to the DRACOVISH because we just nuke everything with Tri Attack, Uproar, and Hyper Beam. Our next mon is going to be our Cinderace here. Cinderace is running Pyro Ball, Super Fang, Taunt, and Core Change with the Heavy Duty Boots. Originally I was running U-Turn over Taunt and Zen Headbutt over Core Change, and I had the Lumberry on this set over the Heavy Duty Boots. Reason for that would have been because I could take a Thunder Wave from the Grimmsnarl, shrug that off, Pyro Ball it, and do tons of damage, or U-Turn out if I needed to. I could also take a Glare from the Sandaconda. Sandaconda is likely going to be running Glare, an Earthquake as its 2 of its moves, Stealth Rocks as its 3rd, and then maybe something like Rest, Bulk Up, Rock Slide, something along those lines to deal with another mon. I feel pretty confident in this set to do a lot of work for me. If I can stop it for going for something like the Stealth Rocks, I should be in a really good position. Core Change allows me to switch over webs back to my opponent, just in case I can't get them up myself, my opponent has them up. It's just a backup. We'll outspeed everything bar any Scarfers on my opponent's team, except for the Persian, because I didn't creep for the Persian. I only crept for the Durant. And I feel this is a very strong set against my opponent's team. If I can make sure that I get those webs on my opponent's side of the field, I'm going to be in a fantastic position going forward. He really has no answers once webs go up on his side of the field. But the reason why I didn't bring a mono web setting Vikavolt is because the offensive set just does so much work. Even if he doesn't bring webs, even if he does bring webs, it still does a lot of work because we're not affected by it because of our levitate ability. Very strong set, and Super Fang and Taunt is there to wall the Arcanine. If I can keep it low with a Super Fang into a Taunt and then another Super Fang, I'm in a fantastic position going forward. He's going to have a really hard time breaking this, and this also weakens things like the Rotom, weakens things like the Hitmontop, the Orbeetle, Quillfish, Sandaconda. Basically everything is weakened by this, and it's a really fantastic mon in this matchup, and I'm hoping it can do a lot of work. We take a max attack Jollity Quillfish's Liquidation or a no attack Sandaconda's Earthquake, and that is very important to make sure that we take those hits because we want to make sure we get off a core change if need be, plus Super Fang if we absolutely can. And that is going to be it for our team this week. Let me know which Pokemon you think will be the MVP of the battle. Is it going to be our Cinderace, our Gardevoir, our Porygon Z, our Sashly Roserade with the Spike? Is that going to be the most important thing in the world? Is it going to be Vikavolt agilitying up, throat spraying all over my opponents, or is it going to be the sub bulk up Urshifu? Let me know down in the comments below, and let's go ahead and jump right into the battle. Alright everyone, we are back. Looking at this team, he brings the DRACOVISH. Woo! Scary Mon is very scary. The Durant, which he actually had a 6-0 with last week, so very, very threatening indeed. Hitmontop, Arcanine, and Quillfish both came, so all three Intimidators, which is fantastic for me. And then the Rotom came as well for extra momentum. I'm leading off here with my Roserade. Has a fantastic matchup against everything except for the lead Durant. And yeah, I think this is pretty good here, because we can spike up pretty easily. Everything but the Rotom is affected by it, taking 12%. So I'll definitely take that. I got my iced coffee. I'm ready to go. I'm trying one thing like very hard going forward. Friend, is that Arcanine? That is Arcanine. Okay. Okay. I'm trying very hard, by the way, to make sure that I have as little quiet spots as possible. Yeah, so he's intimidated on this as well. That's fantastic. That's really good. So I think he was expecting me to lead off with the Vikavolt here. I'm just going to fire off... Do I want to fire off a Stun Spore, paralyzing this thing? I think what I'm going to do is just get off a Sludge Bomb here. I think that's more valuable for me. If he teleports out, he's going to teleport out here. Or he's just slow. We do huge damage with 50... Amazing. That is best case scenario. Him teleporting out there means that one, we get 50% off on that thing. Dope. We may also be faster than it depending on his spread because we have a lot of speed. And two, he's probably going to go into the Durant here, which that's pretty good for me. If he goes into Durant, fine, go for it. I'm going to click the Stun Spore, or actually, yeah, I'm going to click Stun Spore here first. That is the Durant. I'm clicking Stun Spore first because I want to make sure that I get this thing paralyzed. I can now speed it. Yeah, so this only hurts if he is sub. If he is sub, that sucks, but we should be able to take any hit that he wants to go for. Yeah. And even then, Durant is pretty frail. We may be able to KO it, or break the sub with our Dazzling Gleam. Let's see, Dazzling Gleam does, yeah, 27 to 32. 27 to 32, dope. I was originally running Shadow Ball in this set, but I ended up switching over for Stun Spore. For a situation like this, so I can paralyze it, I think that'd be really valuable. Because paralyzing it and then getting up a spike is really nice. Yeah. Because once it's paralyzed, it's a much less of a threat. Exeter, Sash, is he Life Orb? He is Life Orb. We Stun Spore, and we connect. Beautiful. The Durant is chipped down. Oh, that's fantastic. Now... let's fire off a spike. Okay, this is good. So we have a layer of spikes up, we paralyze the Durant, the Arcanine's at under 50%, and he's fully paralyzed, so I can get up a second layer if I want to over here. Do I think it's worth to get up a second layer? I do. I'm going to go for a second layer here. Yeah. Maybe that wasn't the best play. I probably should have gone for a Dazzling Gleam. I could do about a quarter to it, plus the turns of Life Orb, plus what is it called? Oh, he switches out. Okay. That is the... okay, that's this thing. So he's going to take a second layer of spikes now. I imagine he's going to Rapid Spin, if anything. Okay. Hitmontop. Offensive.
All right, here's phones. Okay, but this.
Okay, thank you, Siri. Okay. All right, what does more? I believe it's Dazzling Gleam that's going to do more to it. Dazzling Gleam, if he's got no investment, we're doing 62 to 73. So I think I'll just Dazzling Gleam here. If he Mach Punches, he Mach Punches. He probably goes for Rapid Spin, if anything. We Dazzling Gleam here. Again, I imagine it's the Rapid Spin that comes out. He has Assault Vest. Yeah. So he gets the +1 speed now. And there's no more spikes up. So unfortunately, Rose Raid is the first mon to go down, but it did its job, which is good. I will definitely take that. And at this point in time, I'm pretty confident that I can go right into Gardevoir here. How much does Moonblast do to an Assault Vest Hitmontop? He's around 50%. He outspeeds us now, though. That's a problem. Actually, no, because we can Intimidate it back. Ooh, I don't even know if Intimidate procced. I didn't even pay attention to that. Huh. Let's go into Cinderace here. Because I don't think Intimidate popped. I'll be able to get off a huge chunk of damage against something. So let's go ahead and fire off the Pyro Ball. Again, this should do tons of damage to everything. Except for Quillfish, really, but that's fine. DRACOVISH isn't going to take too much either, but that's okay as well. There's no webs, so our Scar Porygon Z will always outspeed the DRACOVISH. And as long as we weaken the threats, honestly, we're getting closer and closer to an endgame of Porygon Z just cleaning with Tri-Attack or Uproar. So yeah, I'm in a really good position here. And I think I definitely should have gone for the Dazzling Gleam on the Durant. That was a mistake on my part. Not necessarily because he switched out into the Hitmontop, because I could have gone the damage off to make sure that Tri-Attack would have KO'd, which sucks. But in comes Quillfish. Cheap, that is Quillfish. Okay. It is Intimidate. Okay. That does 0 damage. Wow. Are you leftovers? You are not leftovers. You are probably Rocky Helmet. I'm going to fire off a Super Fang here to weaken you even more. Do have a bit of cough today, I'm sorry. I don't know what's wrong. My throat is a bit scratchy, so I apologize for that. But yeah, this is going to be like we're looking at having a really good game here. Super Fang comes out. We connect good. Only 90% accurate. Fantastic. Rocky Helmet, as we thought. And he spikes. No, sir. No. I have Core Change, so no. You can have these back. I don't want them. You can have them back. I'm cool with that. What a cool animation. As he goes for spikes again, he goes for Pain Split. Okay. I'm going to taunt here just in case. I think that's my best play. And we'll see what he wants to do. Does he Pain Split again? He Liquidations. Okay, that's fine. Because... Do I go Vikavolt and try to win here? I don't think we do enough to the... No, I don't think we do enough. So I'm going to go Urshifu, and I'm clicking Substitute here. So Cinderace goes down as well. Let's sub. We could be banded. He knows that. We could be banded. That's very problematic if we are. And we will see. What does he decide to do? Does he decide to stay in liquidation? He can't paralyze me. Does he go Hitmontop? What does he do? That might have been too early. That probably was too early, yeah. I should have probably gone into the Porygon Z. I'm not playing this the best. I should be doing better. Launch, okay. So let's see. What kind are you? Scarf, that is the question. We're gonna find out now if he's Scarf. We're finding out now, right now. Are you Scarf? Let's Drain Punch. He is not Scarf. Under half, that's nothing. Does he Volt Switch here? Does he Leaf Storm? He Volt Switches. I'm cool with that. He might be thinking, what am I going to do here? What is he doing? But I know he's not Scarf now, which is good. We don't know if he's leftovers. Anything coming in now takes a round of spikes. That's very important. Does he go Hitmontop here? Friend, that's the Arcanine. Okay. I'm thinking he switches out here. I'm just going to sub up. If he wild charges, so be it. He switches out. So he's going to get me to -2 now. Cheap, cheap. Okay. So I'm back at my sub up. Like, yeah, I'm at -2 now. He doesn't know I have a bulk up. Pretty obvious that I do, honestly. But we're now at -2 in our attack. So -2. That Rotom is going to be a pain to deal with. I just know it. Let's bulk up. Because the more... Right now, the attack isn't what matters. It's the defense. Launch, yeah. The defense is what matters because the more bulk I can get into my defense, the better off I'll be. So we're back to -1. We have +1 in our defense. All right, -1 and +1 defense. We were at -1, we did that much. Let's, Drain Punch again. Like, it's getting in range. More and more and more, it's getting in range. As he discharges me. So that's good. Okay, 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 okay. He is not leftovers, by the way, we know that. He is in range. Question is, do I sub here? I think he's going to switch out into the Quillfish, so I'm going to sub. This is my play here. I'm sticking by it as he stays in. Does he Volt Switch? Does he Drain Punch? Discharge again. Okay. Do I risk this? I do. I'm going for Drain Punch here. I'm playing. This is a gamble. I don't think I'm going to KO, but it's a gamble I have to take, I think. Him switching out here would be best bet, I think. I would have loved to have gone hard into Vikavolt here, but I don't think that would have been my best interest. KO, please. No. Oh, no. Discharge. Wow. No paralysis. That's nice. Okay, that's nice. That's nice. That's good. Drain Punch again. With Drain Punch recovery. I should be able to... He's going to go Qwilfish here. Yeah, as he does. That's fine. I did not play this well at all. I'm so upset with myself. We're at -2 now. With Drain Punch recovery, we should be able to take the hit from Rocky Helmet. I don't know if we do. We do. It's not pretty, but we do. Okay. Here's my question. Do I take my KO? Do I take my KO here? How do I play this out? It's a really tough decision. God, I did not play that well at all. Oh my god, I'm so mad. Okay, thinking. Do I... If I KO him here with Thunder Punch, I'll die. He can then go to DRACOVISH pretty freely. Or Durant. If I let him KO me here, I can go into Vikavolt and click Agility twice. I will let him KO me. I will let him KO me. He's not going to find out my last move. And our Shifu will go down without getting a kill this week. So down goes our Shifu. Any liquidations? Let's go Vikavolt. Alright. I'm going to Agility. Few liquidations. Do less than half. That's dope, that's dope. As he gets a defense drop. No! Oh, that defense drop is huge. Oh my god, the defense drop is huge because he's gonna have I think I should have Sticky Web there instead of going for another Agility. Another Liquidation. Wow. Okay. That defense drop was so big. So we're at neutral. If I go to Qwilfish, worst case scenario, Bug Buzz will do enough to pop my thing. So let's Bug Buzz here. Bugs will pop my Throat Spray. Yep. Not a 6-0. My god, I needed to play this game better, and I did not. Just don't go Arcanine here. Don't go Arcanine. Oh, he's got first impression. Oh my god, I did not play this game well at all. I played this game so poorly. If I had Sticky Web there instead of Agility, even then, I'm so mad at myself. I'm not playing this well at all. Oh, man. He may be relying on first impression on his Durant to get the win. Because if he doesn't have extreme speed, and if he doesn't have first impression, he's got the extreme speed. He's boots on this thing as well. Damn it. T-Bolt. Fuck. Oh my god, I played this game so poorly. I'm so mad at myself. What am I doing? I literally played this game as bad as it could possibly be played. I'm so stupid. Let's go Porygon Z here. Let's the uproar here. I think I do. I don't think there's really any reason for me to not uproar. It does more damage. I'm staying in anyways. I played this game so poorly. I had an amazing build. I was really happy with it. Just a dumb decision on my part. And that KOs. Just such a dumb decision. And so many bad ones. So many bad ones. Okay, where's Porygon Z here? Jabberwocky. He's not even intimidated, so I can't pop my... I'm so mad at myself. If he Scarf on his DRACOVISH, he wins. As we drop to that anyways. Oh my god. This is... Like, I cannot believe how poorly I played this out. I'm trying to think, what do I do here? I think I just Moonblast. Like, every single turn, I look back, I'm like, I did not make the right decision here. I just didn't. If he has a Rotom, if I go into my Vickel at any time and set up then, I'm in an amazing position. Guard kills the Hitmontop. Oh. Like, QB1. So we're going to pick up a 3-0 loss here because I'm so stupid. I'm such an idiot this game. I'm so mad at myself. Like, good game to D-Ray, but I cannot believe this is probably the worst game I have played in months. I cannot believe how bad I played. Like, if you guys enjoyed this video, leave a like on the video. This might have cost us playoffs. I cannot believe how shitty I played today. I don't think I made a single good decision all game. And it ends up costing me a 3-0 win and a shot at playoffs to a team that I should have beaten. I should have beaten this team. I was so much better prepared for everything. And I played like ass. Fuck. This is worse than hacks because to me this is similar to choking a game. And hacks is out of your control. This is completely in my control and I messed it up. So stupid. Fuck. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to like on the video. I'm going to be doing a post-game interview with D-Ray, so make sure to stick around for that if you guys are interested in that. Welcome back everyone to the post-game interview. I'm joined by the winner of this week's battle, Grandmaster D-Ray. How's it going, man?
What's going on, beautiful people? Thanks for having me, man. That was a thriller. That was a thriller.
That was wild. I'm just going to say, there were so many areas where I felt like I just did not do what I had to do, and it really cost me. Like we said before, by the way, this is take 2 because I didn't record a side to start. But
hey, life of an actor, man. I've done acting for a while, and we never do one take, so this is norm.
There you go. Okay, like you have some experience. I don't. We'll go with that. But basically, after the Roserade got the paralysis on the Durant, I felt like I lost complete control because I made bad decision after bad decision after bad decision.
Yeah, there's a couple plays where I thought you could have done something different, but depending on the matchup, we always have that, that throw within us to think on our feet, and sometimes it just slips through. But you played really well. I think it was a great game on both ends. The couple questionable plays that on my end that I thought was for me personally, was staying in on Qwilfish with your Urshifu, because you're basically sacking it, which is fine because of how low health you were. But being able to get something in and eat that liquidation and probably take advantage of my Qwilfish would have been a little bit better in my opinion.
Yeah, so that turn I was really debating if I wanted to sack it off or not, because I could have gone for a Thunder Punch there. That was my last move. I would have KO'd the Quillfish even though I was at -2. The reason why I didn't do that was because it lets a Scarf DRACOVISH come in for free and get off FISHIOUS REND against everything bar Porygon Z. If you went into the, what is that thing called, the Hitmontop, you would have Mach Punched me and done a ton of damage, probably even OHKO me. So I felt like there really was no reason for me to keep it around. My play would have been to go into Vikavolt and then hope that you don't have Extreme Speed on Arcanine. And if you didn't have Extreme Speed on Arcanine, then I had it at that point.
Yeah, the scare that we had was a Scarf Gardevoir. So the fact that you kept it in the back and never brought it out once just made me think that you were Scarf Gardevoir the entire time. Looking at your team now, the tech is, Flames. I love the Adrenaline Orb because that's an obvious switch in Arcanine to a Moonblast. And if you get intimidated getting that +1 speed, that's Flames. So essentially it gives you that +1 like a Scarf and being able to switch up moves.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty clutch.
And the thing with that said is, like, I really didn't, like, Mystical Fire would have been fantastic, but I felt like Protect was better in case you brought First Impression. You obviously didn't, but that was the only reason why I had First Impression. I need to get to +2 to OHKO your Durant. So my misplay at the beginning, like, again, this game was full of misplays for me. You said I played well. I actually felt like this was one of the worst games, probably the worst game I played in Generation 8, which is like my play against the Durant after I got the first layer of spikes and you got fully paralyzed, Dazzling Gleam 100%. I do 25%. If you attack me, you're in range of a neutral Moonblast from Gardevoir. If you switch out to Jabberwocky like you did, I get off 2 Dazzling Gleams against it, which means I could have gone into my Vikavolt a lot earlier and set up on the, what is that thing called? The Rotom, because when it was Vikavolt, when it was Rotom against Urshifu, I wanted to switch out so badly. I was thinking you were like Specs or something on that thing because you just kept going for Discharge. So I'm like, I'm gonna switch out into Vikavolt. I can set it that way, but
the Rotom was there to 1v1 the Mamoswine that I thought team preview rips my team to absolute shreds, and I was like, okay, I have nothing for this thing, so I have to bring it to obviously be immune to Earthquake. And the best you could do if I can get it 1v1 in safely, that's why we have Teleport. So the idea behind this is my team is basically food for Mamo. So I had to bring 2 Mons to beat it. I was forced to bring Teleport on Arcanine instead of Wild Charge. Obviously, I don't outspeed the Urshifu, but there's chances that you brought a defensive Urshifu to use it as a check semi to DRACOVISH. So I could have brought Wild Charge. I had to sacrifice that for Teleport to get Monch in for free. So that way I can 1v1 your Memo, be immune to Earthquake, and still be able to take an Ice Shard or an Icicle Crash up, put Yachi Berry on it. That's all I had. Literally, like the rest of my team, Quillfish, even with -1, does not want to take it. Durant doesn't want to take it. If you ended up being Scarf, DRACOVISH doesn't like that. So Mamo, I thought, was so good against my team.
So Mamo is really good against your team. I just felt like it was awkward to put it on the roster. Like, if I look at what I had, the big things that I had that were really going to be taking advantage of your team, the Urshifu set that I had just straight up won if I played it correctly. Because if I bring it in on the Quillfish, I eat any hit. And I set up a sub, and I can bulk up on it multiple times over. If I get to +1, I take any hit from your what is that thing called? The Hitmontop. If I get to +2, I even take my sub takes a Wild Charge from Arcanine. So yeah, I felt like all I had to do was make sure the attack didn't matter. That was gonna come. I could just weaken down your Rotom. As you kept switching in and out, I just get up a sub. Yeah, I'll be at -1, then -2. I can just keep drain punching, and be good to go. That first turn that I subbed on the Rotom, when you went for a Discharge, I was thinking like he's gonna go right back into the Quillfish, get the -1, I'll get the Rocky Helmet chip, and then he'll just double out again, so I'll sub up. And I thought I had you with that, and that was gonna be what was gonna bring the game back for me, but didn't make that decision. Then didn't switch out into the Vikavolt on the Discharges. Just overall, you made the right plays, and I just did not.
Yeah, the fact that you didn't bring Mamoswine let me play a little bit more recklessly with my Rotom, because that's the only real reason that I brought it. It didn't really do much else in this matchup, especially being hit by the Bug Buzz. Even though it's neutral, it still does a lot of damage because Rotom, depending on investment, isn't all that bulky. So I was able to switch back and forth and Intimidate Shuffle to discourage you from staying in, because as soon as you click sub, I was like, okay, this is a bulk up, I'm in trouble. So I had to bring it down to -1, not necessarily to you not to sweep me. This is just for Rotom to be able to comfortably be able to live hits and keep you from subbing up. Because once you got to -1, I was like, okay, I can kind of eat a Drain Punch, so I have to stay in and keep going for a Discharge to discourage you going for a sub. Because if you end up knocking out one of my Mons and you're behind a sub, you can keep bulking up, and then I'm screwed.
Yeah, I just played way too recklessly with that, and you were able to be more reckless than I was, and that ended up being like the reason why I stayed in and drain punched. By the way, on your last discharge, that brought me down to like 10%, was because I thought I was actually gonna KO there. And then I just clicked it too fast and looked at them like, wait, I'm not KOing here. Why the hell did I do that? Please go for Volt Switch. Please switch out, expecting me to switch out, or expecting me to drain punch and get the Intimidate off. I think I'm gonna go for, I don't know, strikes, because strikes at that point would have killed you. Even though I was at -1 and it's resisted, because the crits actually would have gotten the job done. And
yeah, it's a tough thought process, because we're in the heat of the matchup. It's funny that you say that the Mamos one was a tough bring. Durant was the same thing for me, because I needed first impression for Gardevoir in case you were Scarf, because that was the biggest fear for me, because DRACOVISH, obviously, if I can chip down your team, it's just basically GG from there. Yeah. The only thing that can stop me is if you're Scarf Gardevoir, and the only way to stop it is with first impression. But the problem is that I couldn't fit it on there because you have Cinderace and because you have Copper Jaw. Even though it may not be a bring, you still have to respect that thing, because that thing can be fat and annoying. So I had to put Stomping Tantrum on there, and I feel so uncomfortable with Hustle to not bring Home Claw sometimes that I'm like, oh man, if I miss a hit, this is even worse. So I was like in that bind between, do I bring Stomping Tantrum? Do I bring First Impression? So that was, it's awkward to have an offensive threat sometimes that just coverage is just so limited depending on the matchup. So I felt that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I really didn't have any switches to Durant either. Like it had coverage for everything. 109 attack with Hustle, stabs, life form. It just ripped through my whole team. The fact that I had Cinderace in the back meant if I missed the Stun Spore on it, I can just Pyro Ball, and yeah, you'd go into your Quillfish, but I can then taunt it, Super Fang it, whatever the case may be, and be good to go. Like, I'm really beating myself up about this, because I definitely felt I had this game, and this probably cost me my shot at playoffs, because all in all, this was one of my harder matchups because of all your Intimidates, and I really did not play around it well.
Yeah.
The Technician was good, by the way.
Yeah, it was great. It was like I said, it was the no choice kind of thing. I had to, if I was going to Intimidate Shuffle, I had to do it with Arcanine and Quillfish. If I brought all three, that would have been a little bit better for Urshifu. But again, if that Porygon gets a chance to get that Nasty Pot up or an Agility, then it's over. I have nothing for it.
Yeah, I would have loved to have been Chople Berry. That was my backup option for it, but I needed the Scarf as a way to handle the DRACOVISH at least a little bit. But yeah, like there's so many instances where like if I made the play that I was like, it was between play 1 and play 2. I went with play 1, and if I had gone with play 2 every time, I think I would have been in a much better position, if not to win the game, at least to make it closer than a 3-0. At one point, I was like, it was 6-4 or 6-3 or something, and I was still thinking to myself, like, I'm in a really good position here, and then I realized, I'm like, oh yeah, he probably has extreme speed on his Arcanine. Why did I make this decision to sack off this? And yeah, it's just a series of unfortunate.
Yeah, that goes for those who are watching Draft League for the first time or just new to Draft League in general. Like Matt said, he was still in a good position. I wasn't by far at all anyway gonna like wrap this up in the back. I was staying in my matchup. I was trying to stay as calm as I possibly could, because even though, like I said, if you had Scarf Gardevoir in the back, things could just switch right then and there. Just because you're down by half doesn't mean that you're not necessarily out of the game. So just keep your head in it.
For sure.
Keep your head on the swivel and keep moving forward. But I thought it was a great game. I thought you still played really, really good. I feel that if I didn't bring Mach Punch and Extreme Speed, then you would have won 100% for sure. You probably ended up 3-0ing me reverse sweep.
To be honest, I think Extreme Speed was the reason that you won the game there. If you decided to go with Wild Charge over Extreme Speed, it was over, because at that range, with my +1 and the spike up, I always KO'd DRACOVISH. So
it ended up working out in a way that I didn't think it would, because Extreme Speed was only there in case you caught up webs. I didn't necessarily think that you would boost up agility wise or just go for some speed shenanigans. I brought that there in case I couldn't get rid of webs, and then somehow I lost my boots, so that was just like a backup option.
Right. Yeah, I mean, GG's once again. Guys, if you have not checked out D-Ray's channel, make sure to go and do that. He does amazing stuff in terms of Draft League, and he also has his Grandmaster's Table, which is a podcast that he does with his wife, and he interviews a ton of amazing people in the space of Pokemon. He interviewed myself. He's interviewed, I think you're interviewing Seabad tonight or something, or tomorrow. Who else have you had on?
We've had PokeMD, we've had Invivid Color, Kyle A, Patty Trills, lots of big names you probably recognize. K Cray recently, so that was a good one.
Yeah, so make sure to go and check out his channel. His links are going to be in the description. Thanks for coming on for the posting interview, and next time we play, I'm giving you a better battle than that. It's going to be coming down to the wire, so just look out for it.
I'm looking forward to it, man.
All right, so there you have it. We ended up taking the 3-0 loss. I really did not play that game well, and I'm so mad. Even after talking to D-Ray, I really felt like I should have done better. But it is what it is. We're going to do our best to make sure we make playoffs. I had some really nice comments up on our last BBR battle saying, hey, even if you don't make playoffs, you can't expect to win every single game. You're doing well, and I really appreciate that comment, so thank you very much. And but do know, I do want to make playoffs. I am doing my best to get there. We have a really tough few weeks ahead of us, but I know we can get the job done. Our next 2 weeks are against really, really strong opponents, so fingers crossed that we can get it done. Our next game is actually against Liv, and that's going to be make or break. So thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you all